Hello, wherever and whenever you are, and welcome back to the Underdark, to the shores of the Dark Lake, in the tender care of Plupin and his Koatoa followers. But let me not jump ahead of myself. Let me say a massive hello to the folks joining us here and over on CarniSideShow. Hello. Nice to see you all. Thank you for coming by and sharing our stories today. And, of course, another massive thank you to all of those joining us in the VOD Squad, catching up with our stories whenever they get the chance. It is very, very appreciated, as always. Now, my microphone's quite loud. I should turn that down. Stop shouting at you. And the game is also very loud. Calm down, music. Calm down. There we go. That's better. Okay. So, that said, thank you to all of you people who watch us, and thank you to the fine folks at Sirenscape for all of the sounds and effects that you'll be hearing throughout today's adventures. Give them a try. There are 10 sound sets that you can experience for free, and if you decide that's what you want in your game, at your tabletop, be it virtual or physical, like the lucky people over there in CarniSideShow, you can become a subscriber, what they call a super siren, and get your hands on all of the amazing things that they have on offer. Recently they produced more of their Curse of Strahd official sound sets, and they're coming out with all kinds of stuff, not just D&D as well. There's various board game setups and other gaming settings and rule sets that they also create content for. Very, very worth your time and your subscription, in my opinion. Not a sponsor, just very happy to have them. Now, also, speaking of music and nice sounds and things, like what we are hearing in the background here, hopefully not too loud, give me a shout if it is. Also, a big thank you to Dark Fantasy Studio and the YouTube channels, two of them, RPG music maker Travis Savoy and Epic Journey, for the wonderful, wonderful music they have in all of their settings and various kind of situations. They have different music, stressful ones and dark ones and exciting ones and happy ones, all kinds of music for any kind of situation that you could find yourselves in. Also, finally, over on Patreon, another music creator, Will Savino, is a very busy little fella, creating lots of great music for use in your role-playing games. Give them a check over in the VOD on our YouTube channel. There are links to all of their amazing stuff. Now, that said, let us get back into our adventure here. First things first, I will give you a quick recap of what happened last time, and then we shall talk to our players here and allow them to introduce themselves, who they are playing, and what that character is thinking at the current moment. Dramatic music pause. Last time on Out of the Abyss. I like it when Sirenscape just plays into you what you're doing right away. That's very nicely. First, we started with a somber moment as Ignatius's fallen comrade that they had discovered, not so fortunate as they, in the travels through the Underdark across the Dark Lake, they buried the once comrade of Ignatius, and Corbin, who is not with us today, is very knowledgeable in all kinds of funeral rites and was aware of the Eladrin funeral rites and the proper way to give their friend, or Ignatius's colleague, a proper send-off. And Ignatius witnessed the spirit of his fallen comrades joining those of his ancestors in sharing in his adventures and his journey to come. Then their journey continued as they were splashing quietly through the Dark Lake in the pitch black, through vast caverns and very narrow tunnels, sometimes with the ceiling or stalactites coming right down to almost to the water's level, just with enough clearance for their boats to pass through. But it was not a peaceful journey, as suddenly members of their party started to disappear over the sides of the boats, yanked into the water violently to disappear, not to be seen again. Then this was swiftly followed by the larger members of the group being assailed by nets arcing out of the darkness, tangling up Ignatius and the others there, but he tore his way free just in time to face off against a Kuotoa fishfolk raiding party who leapt out of the water onto the boats to attack the group. They did a valiant effort, especially our little Sverfneblin twin, who was angered by the disappearance of his sister and was doing natural 20s all over the place. But the numbers were too great as they were swarmed by this group of fishfolk, their leader with lightning playing around their claws as they went in for the attack on Ignatius. And unfortunately, all of them were knocked unconscious. Not killed, they were taken unconscious as offerings, as your own Kuotoa friend Shushar had said they were trying to gather sacrifices for some evil rite and some forbidden altar. Corbin had the wile to let themselves be taken and feigned being knocked out, so that as they were dragged through the water and taken to a staging area where the others were being tied up, they managed to stay conscious but unnoticed, and secreted their finger darts into their mouths so they were not confiscated, so that later on they were able to use said darts spat very dexterously into Ignatius's side as he was given healing and brought back to consciousness with a roar and a bellow that distracted their captors just at the right moment, because up on the rock shelves around the corridor, around the cavern that they were traveling through, another group of Kuotoa rose up, and with a vicious they all came surging down from the thing above, led by an archpriest of the Sea Mother herself. And with their magic and their superior numbers and the element of surprise, they managed to swarm over this other faction, defeat them, and release our party from their binds. Oh, this is exhausting. I think this is the most exciting recap I've ever done. Okay, let me catch breath there where the music stops. Now, finding themselves released and in the care of this new, if slightly vertically, what's the word I'm looking for? Sensitive? Vertically sensitive group, the Kuotoa archpriest insisting that Ignatius kneel down so that he may clamber upon a rock and be higher up than the Minotaur massive barbarian that we have here. Even just kneeling down wasn't quite enough. That rock was also useful. And he let them know just of this trouble and strife that they are going through in the Kuotoa village of Slubludup. And he told them that recently, even though the Kuotoa are fairly religiously fluid, shall we say, they want to dream up new deities, new gods to follow, and get excited about those. And they tend to, how shall we say, believe in them so strongly that they actually will them into existence. They actually create their own gods through their own faith. But it has run a bit rampant recently, apparently, and 2 pretender gods had risen up in the town of Slubludup in recent times. Luckily, the day before we find ourselves here in the Underdark, a mysterious group of adventurers of very mixed abilities, random, you might say, had come rampaging through and destroyed one of these pretender gods, destroying the idol and scaring off the head priest, the so-called jumped-up head priest of that religion, and their followers had left them. But whilst some had returned to the bosom of the Sea Mother, others had gone off to this other religion. Hey, Cozzy, how you doing, man? They had gone off to this other religion, this so-called Limugugun, the Deep Father, unfortunately being led by the archpriest's own daughter, his fair Blipod, who had renounced the Sea Mother and had gone over to this so-called Limugugun, but clearly a being of some power, as apparently her magical abilities have been greatly enhanced by this entity. And the archpriest Plupin implored you to take part in a ruse that he has planned. He wants you to pretend to be a reconciliatory gift, a sacrifice to the Limo Guggen, so that the Sea Mother and the Deep Father may possibly be joined, and that all Kuatoa can worship them equally. Now, he assured you that this will merely be a ruse, and you will be able to shed your bindings at a moment's notice. As checking them out, we did see that this had happened. This was a possibility for you to do. And once in amongst these non-believers, these, I forget the word, Bruktagar, the unbelievers, you were to disrupt the ritual and get rid of this menace of this so-called Deep Father, so that the Sea Mother may be reinstated as the one true religion in Slubludop. It is into this melting pot, this crazy situation, that our poor adventurers find themselves with all of their NPC friends as they are pretending to be captive and led towards the city of Slubludop, which they have just gained sight of. Its towering structures, various reed-like towers and platforms and bridges and ropeways and strange, almost like a 3D way of construction that is rising up from the lake side, up into the cavern above, stretching up to the stalactites of the cavern ceiling high up above. And they see little areas of luminescence shining here and there in the vast structure, and they are continuing to be led by Bloop Bloopin and his loyal followers. And that is where we find ourselves. But just where are our players at? What are they thinking? What are they hoping to achieve here in Slubludop? I'm going to go left to right as I see it. Ignatius. Who are you playing, and where are you at, sir?
I am Ignatius Poppy Zarilis, and I come from the Feywild. Fortunately, I was trapped by the Drow and paraded through the streets of the Underdark until I was taken to the prison where I met these people. Ever since, been trying to escape and also save the rest of my crew. My actual name is Chris, and I'm from CarniSideShow.
Yes. Everyone, do give them a check if they're over there in the chat. We have a few new people in since you posted that, Chris, so post something else. We're going to get a little shout out in the chat here. Please give them a follow. Fantastic one-shots, a fantastic campaign also. Definitely worth your eyeballs. Next to Ignatius, we have returned to us from a brief sabbatical away, Zakan, emerging from the shadows once more.
Yes. So my name is Steven, and I am playing Zakan, who also is sometimes known as the Lightbringer. They are something of a native to the Underdark, having spent the entirety of the life that they can remember here, and they are seeking to do what they've always done, which is guide those who are lost to where they need to go. In this moment, they are willing to help the Kuatoa because they have in the past been helped by the Kuatoa themselves, and have found them to be helpful, if somewhat difficult to understand folk. And I don't know if we ever established the specific group that helped Zakan. They weren't in Slubludop, were they somewhere else? Like it wasn't this group or anything.
No, I think we had found that you had been to Slubludop, yeah. But I don't think just
That's right.
in a normal situation, I think just passing through, you wouldn't come across Pluplutine. You wouldn't, because they're the top of the clergy, the uppermost level. And I don't think you would have had any doings with them. But you have been to the village before.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think they were helped along by just people of the village, so they feel indebted to help in return.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yes, there is a chance that you will come across Kuatoa that you had met before.
Mm-hmm.
And I shall have to wrap my tongue around some garbled name that I shall make up on the spot and then later try and figure out how to spell.
Then make me have to say the whole bunch.
And over on the far right, for not politically, of course, but sorry.
God, no.
Sorry. As I said, it's on the right of the screen as you're looking at it. Excuse me. We have Elora Illustris.
My name is Sam. I play a rogue high elf, Elora Illustris. She is originally from Mistranner. She ran away from home and started her own outlaw band, helping the poor and stealing from the rich. She and her members were captured and brought to the Underdark like everyone else, and now she is deeply invested in getting everyone home safely while also finding, hopefully, her own comrades alive.
Yep. Proving that merry women are just as good as merry men. Okay. Fantastic. Thank you. Right.
Laura has been wearing green tights this entire time.
Indeed. Okay.
There's also a fox, an animated fox.
Now, moving on. Unfortunately, we are down a player again. I swear, we don't have a one-out, one-in policy here, but unfortunately, our fair Corbin, the newest member to the party, is hanging back, kind of watching from the shadows, shall we say, but they will be back with us very soon, so do not fear. It is a temporary thing. Now, let us get back into our situation. First and foremost, let me... Oh, Cos, thank you so much, mate. Thank you. And Daisy, welcome in. Everyone, our friend here, Cos and Daisy, in the chat here, will be joining us soon. Keep your eyes open on the Twitter, etc., for news of our brand new campaign, Candlekeep Mysteries. If you want to see how that group of one-off adventures can be tied together into a perfect campaign with an incredible bad guy running behind the whole thing, Oh, it's so good. There is a fantastic supplement by our good friend Dylan over on the DM's Guild, which ties them all together perfectly and with a fantastic ribbon on top with all the lore tied in and everything. And Daisy and Cos here will be joining us for that, along with other friends from the KABG podcast and my brother-in-law. And we shall be starting up on that adventure very soon, so keep those eyes open. That'll be on a Saturday. So look forward to that. It's going to be a good time. Anywho, as I carry on here, let me bring you over back to the shores of the Dark Lake. Boop. Here we are. I was going to say, let me center that a bit more, but no. Nope, that'll do. Okay. I have yet to figure out who this random person is stood on the edge of the Dark Lake, but hey. We shall never know.
The big bad.
Yes. Actually, I know who they can be for the moment. Perfectly. Just a moment, please. Bear with me. So. Let me bring this down a little bit here. We start our session today not with the main group that we've just heard about, but a few hundred meters, if you'll excuse me, abandoning the Imperial system briefly, a few hundred meters away, as a lone figure breaches the surface of the Dark Lake a la Apocalypse Now, their head slowly rising up out of the water, stark white hair wet against the side of their skull, dark grey skin blending in with the darkness of the rock around them as they slowly, without making a splash, clamber up onto the rock ledge that you had left just before. And they squat down, looking down the corridor, looking down the cavern towards where you are being marched away, as a drow in entirely black leather silently observes as you leave. before turning and re-submerging themselves into the water with hardly a ripple as they disappear. Now, scene shifts to further back in the caverns from the way you'd come, as the same drow emerges up out of the water. And we see... Sorry, let me just get the names right. I don't want to get the names wrong here. We see the drow priestess who was in charge of the outpost that you were held captive in, Ilvara Mizrim, and a small but very efficient-looking group of her soldiers, waiting for this scout to return. And as they rise up out of the water, they bow their heads, dripping onto the stone of the cavern, and as they raise their eyes to meet their mistresses, they report. It is as we had hoped, milady. We have found them. But I regret to inform you, they are in the company of the Courtois of Slupludup. And Ilvara Mizrim spits to the side. Curses! We were so close. Very well. We do not wish to cause complications with the Courtois, especially with their knowledge of this Dark Lake region. You did well. Were you seen? No, my lady, of course not. They did not notice I was there. Very well. We shall make our way around and hopefully pick up their trail when they leave that cursed village. Come on. And the group almost noiselessly moves off into a side cavern, heading in the general direction of the Courtois settlements. Meanwhile, a procession is winding its way through caverns and tunnels towards the dimly lit village. Is there anything that you would like to say or talk about? The Courtois at this distance from the village are not making you keep silent.
So besides having us become bait, do we have another plan? We could perhaps have a backup, maybe.
Be certainly able to slip our bonds if need be. What it is worth, I do believe that the group guiding us is committed to what they have said they promised to do.
They mean us no harm, so as long as we're able to get the job done, I just worry about how many people there are and how strong they are.
We'll have more of an advantage on dry land than we did in the boats on the Dark Lake. I feel reasonably confident that should things turn against us, we can manage our own.
And how is everybody doing on energy? I'm completely worn out myself.
Would be expected after the day that you have faced. I myself am tired, but continuing.
I think I'm still quite anxious, so it's keeping me awake for now.
Hopefully we can find some rest back in Slippered when this is all said and done, and we have proven ourselves to be loyal to the Courtois. They operate very much on loyalty and acts of demonstrated loyalty.
Okay.
You still have the relic that you took out of the water. The statue.
It was opening the statue to get the pearls, right?
Yeah, it was a life-size statue, so it was too big.
Yeah, so but I took the pearls, 2 of them.
Yeah.
The deeply cursed pearls.
Yeah.
Oops.
Whoopsie.
They may yet come in handy. They understand bargaining and trading things for things and things for favors, so it may yet prove useful.
Indeed.
Looking forward to a good rest and getting some good gear.
Actually, Zakan, I will give you one thing from your previous visits here. You know that the shrine of the Great Sea Mother, Blibdulupulp. God, I implore you to get through this settlement as quickly as possible. At least
Please finish this quest and kill everyone involved.
Get to the Swerfneblin's place, then I can just concentrate on doing a Scouse accent. That's all I've got to do.
Yeah, Swerfneblin, much easier to say.
No. Take your time. It's all good. They actually do give you nicknames to use if the full names are too much. Cheers, Daisy.
Oh.
Ploop Ploopine may simply be called Ploop. The sun, Blop Bliplot, can be just Blop. And Gluglugoog can be Glug, and Klibdolrugut can be Klib. But I'm not sure if you're on that level of friendship yet.
It's a matter of cultural respect, really.
Right. I think.
Yeah. Could you pop all of those into chat at some point?
Yeah, sure.
So just a reference.
And I'm not sure, how much, I think, how often do you get the chance to come down to Sloopludup itself? We should embrace and enjoy the full the full joy that we have here. By the way, on the screen here, we have our different types here. So the Archpriest is at the top, so that is Ploopine. Okay. And then the lighter background, the image is the same, but we have a Kuatoa Whip and a Kuatoa Monitor. Those are the two kind of slightly higher up levels. And then we have the regular Kuatoa.
Is there a honorable term of address for the High Priest, or one that we could perhaps?
I mean, the official title is Archpriest, so whatever that is, yeah. Yeah, and I mean, like I said, he can cast tongues as well, so he can talk with all of you. And I think he would probably like to do that as a show of his power, in front of his followers as well, so he'll be happy. Also, Shushar will also be able to translate in any given situation as well.
Yeah, so Zakan, I think, will, after some walking, call out to the Archpriest and say, Archpriest, your worship, if I may, a moment.
Yes, what is it?
As we approach our destination, I would ask in your infinite wisdom and guidance what exactly you would desire of us, your orders, and we will follow them to the letter upon arrival.
As we arrive in the city, first we shall go to my house of worship in the main square, beneath the gaze of the Sea Mother. After some short time, and we have gathered the necessary faithful to our cause, we shall escort you to the cursed altar of the Glukadagar. And there I shall pretend to give you as a peace offering. Pretend to realize the... how shall I say? He looks pained to say it's, the divinity of this strange religion. And it is there that my misguided daughter shall welcome you in her bloodthirsty desire for sacrifice. her desire to chum the waters of the Dark Lake, and she will gladly accept our offer. But once you are close enough, then we shall spring our trap.
And you wish any of the members of this faction to remain unharmed? Is it a display of force, or do you wish them eradicated?
Our people are very, shall we say, flexible religiously. And if we eradicate the Bruktagar leading this breakaway sect, then hopefully many of their followers shall realize the true power of the Sea Mother and return to her embrace.
Most cunning plan. And will there be a signal for springing this trap for when we should cease our playing at being captives and join into the action to remove this false god?
Yes. I shall be at your side, pretending to join the ritual to this foul deep father, and the signal shall be clear when I raise up my scepter. Speaking of, let me show you, because it's pretty cool.
Scepter.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Where's it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? Wrong screen. This one. Boop. Here he is.
Ooh, let's see.
So yeah, he's got this weird kind of almost crustacean-looking Cthulhu-esque religious symbol on top of his stuff there. The symbol shall be clear as I rise up this scepter of the Sea Mother herself and strike down my blaspheming daughter.
Well, powerful and quite brave, we will follow your example. And final question, if I may. These followers of the Bruktagar,
Yes.
aside from their belief in this false deity, have they committed any acts of evil, any irredeemable conduct?
It very much depends on your views on human sacrifice.
Of innocence?
Of course. Any creatures that stumbled into our settlement in recent days, except for those adventurers who came forth and escaped before the Deep Father's minions could swarm over them. All others that have visited us have been taken, snatched up, and their blood spilled across this foul altar.
A most horrifying practice, of which I am sure you are quite well above.
The Sea Mother does not require such barbaric gestures.
And we are honored by her grace.
As we are honored by your assistance. As I told your friends, you shall be greatly rewarded for your help in this situation.
Know the Kuator to be trustworthy, so we'll put our trust in you as you have in us.
He nods.
Zakan will go back into line with the others.
Mm-hmm. Okey-doke. Now, Elora, anything that you would like to ask and talk about with your friends before you plunge into this situation?
I would say if things get tough, do you want to run or do you want to stay and fight? What are your feelings around that?
My main concern is to get to wherever my people are. These politics, well, we do this as a favor for them saving us, but if it gets out of control, then I have no investment in this.
Zakan?
If this faction has been capturing innocent wanderers and sacrificing them, then it's imperative to put a stop to that. However, I have initially promised to lead the both of you back to where you need to go, so that will take precedence if your lives are at risk.
Suppose I'll have to judge when time comes.
Indeed. Those who conduct evil in the name of a god, true or false.
Okay. Now, so I'm just sorting a couple of things over here. As you continue around the edge of the Dark Lake and approach Slublidop proper. Actually, Stephen, I should show you this picture we have of the city. We shared this last time.
Indeed.
Oh, hang on, not on there. Wrong screen. This one. Oop, there we go. So this is what you are approaching, making your way across kind of rocky ledges and gravelly beaches, like where you found Ignatius's comrade, slowly working your way around the edge of the Dark Lake towards this cluster of buildings built on these various levels from the water's edge right up up into the darkness above.
Cool, very cool.
And we are not on water anymore, to be clear.
No.
Okay, no.
You're walking through. You were walking through tunnels at first, and now you have emerged out onto the edge of the Dark Lake. But you are sticking to the shore, moving around the edge of the water towards the town itself. Calling it a city is they call it a city, but that's very generous.
And they tend to live in really rough temporary encampments, so I guess it would be a city for them.
Yeah, exactly. And I think a lot of their dwellings almost look do you know like the nests that harvest mice make in reeds? Like you have like long like corn or wheat stalks, and then in between them they have this ball basically of grass and interwoven strands that they make for themselves. The Kuatoa settlements are very much like that, both up in the supports above and down on the ground level. They're just a strange mesh, almost like a nest of driftwood and other materials, all woven together in various random shapes. And you start to see those as you get closer. I'm not sure if this image comes up as Slublidop when it's searched for, but I'm not sure if it was originally intended as such. Not quite the shape that the dwellings are, as you can see here, more of a traditional kind of square-walled, roof-topped image here. But the Kuatoa dwellings are much more organic-looking and much more fluid in their shape and size.
Very cool.
So, let us let's see here. I'm just going to put you over on this map before I bring you in. Zakan. There as well. And the NPCs shall be around, shall we say. I think Plupluptine will, have them secreted away and hidden away so that they only require you four to be the fake offering. So, as you...
We have all of our gear on us, right?
Yes. It does actually. It says... it even says in the module, they have faith in their superior numbers and the will of their gods, that they don't deem you dangerous enough to disarm and take away your equipment, which is very generous. Okay, so let me switch over to this. As Pluplupine leads you forward, you come much closer and within sight of the, to be honest, fairly impressive sight, if slightly unstable looking, of this sizable settlement reaching up above much more than it does out to the sides, and you arrive at a gate. Now, I shall bring you over to the map of this little village of ours. Boop. Now, I'm going to turn off the dynamic lighting on this. We don't need this pool of darkness here. Where are we at? Now. Ta-da.
Everyone,
Let there be light.
Superbell.
Indeed. So here we are. Sloop up. Now.
Whoa.
Yes, the whole lot is here. Now, the north, as you can see, is the Dark Lake. And to the south is just the sheer rock face of the edge of the massive cavern that you are in. And you can see the collection of buildings clustered around, and on either side, running from the rock wall down to the water's edge, are these massive walls let's have a quick look here. Yeah, there are these outer walls of heavy netting with sharp bone hooks woven into them. And then in the middle of the wall that you approach, you see there is a gate, which you can pass through. And standing outside the gate, you can see four large, muscular-looking Kuator who go to raise a hand and confront you as you approach, but they see that it's Pluplupine, and they bow their heads and stand aside as you enter from the west edge there. Now, you are escorted through these streets, and there is a very strong smell of rotten fish and kind of seaweed almost smell. That down by any good fishing dock, like we have not too far from where I'm sat here in Onohama, and there's that smell of fish and everything except the salt tang of the ocean. That's the only thing that's missing from that kind of smell that you're getting here. And
we've got this big fish market called Lalamu, and it's connected to an aquarium. And...
Is it the aquarium's the childcare? No. Ignatius, you and Corbin are struggling a little because the small instances of bioluminescence and natural fungi and stuff that are illuminating this scene are few and far between, I'm afraid. But not pitch black. It's like dim light for you. Okay. Zakan, Alora, with your dark vision, you can see as if it was daylight, but the colors are all drained out from it, except when you're very close to these bioluminescent patches. And you are paraded through the streets along... hang on, let me get this here. So basically along this main street here, so from the left side here, just all the way along this main street that kind of goes through the middle. As I said, passing those strange nest-like habitations, interwoven pieces of, the mushroom material that you've been using yourselves, and other strange bits and bobs that have just been scavenged and gathered from roundabout and all woven together, again with that strange kind of heavy netting to kind of tie it all together, and with zirkwood struts to hold up the structure and the shape of the things, haphazard as they are. And you are led through, and you have mixed reactions from the Kuotoa you see moving around the place. And you sometimes see them looking surprised that Plupin has you captured, knowing that usually he would welcome guests to the city. And there are others who nod almost fervently, and they're just like, and they're shouting out Zakan with your undercommon. You know that they're saying, yes, more blood for the Deep Father. And there's almost a Jekyll and Hyde kind of separation in the groups here. One of them fairly chill and almost like Shashar, but not completely pacifist, and the others seemingly quite bloodthirsty and quite zealous in their religious beliefs, it would seem. Now,
Zakan leans into the two or the three others and says, "I do not know if you have any familiarity with the Kuotoa, but as our host says, that once we fell this other god, you will find that their disposition changes quite immediately. They're an interesting relationship with their deities, and so if we focus our energy on felling this false god as instructed, I believe that soldiers themselves will change and fall in line to the one that remains, which, if the Archbishop is to be believed, is pacifistic. Is to say, I believe we need to harm these other Kuotoa."
Indeed.
No.
Now, Plupin and his faithful are on full show here, and Zakan, actually, as you start speaking to your friends, just as you wrap up there, some of them, they kind of hit you with their staffs and their spears, but very gently. It's just for show, and they're just like, and you understand that they're saying, "Shut up, prisoners, be quiet." But the rest of you just hear, Now, as you continue, if you'd like to give a nice zoom in, these beautiful maps do stand up to a nice close inspection. Yeah, it's gorgeous. Another reason why you don't actually have to dash through here.
It's fucking ripped fish people.
Indeed. Now, as you are passing through here, you see looming out of the darkness this massive statue. As you arrive in the main square here, this 9-foot-tall statue stands here. Its body is roughly carved from some kind of wood in the shape of a humanoid female, but its head and forearms are formed from the severed head and claws of a giant albino crayfish, not unlike what Plupin has on his staff. These parts are lashed on with strands of gut, and they emit an overpowering stench of rotting shellfish. Other shells, brightly coloured stones, mushrooms, and rotting fish are piled at the statue's feet and strung in garlands around its neck, and 4 stern Kuotoa are slowly circling the statue, alert and on guard, while a few others mill about, gazing up at the statue and bowing repeatedly while chanting to the Sea Mother. So these are clearly the faithful that have remained in the grasp of the Sea Mother. Plupin gestures to the building on the far side of the statue here. Boop. And shouts to his faithful, "Take the prisoners over there. I shall deal with them soon." And you are fake aggressively shoved towards that little hovel which is adjacent to the shrine on the far side, where you see some other Kuatoa welcome Pluplupin back and start to see to him and see to his weapons and robes and things. So, you are, as you can see on the thing there, you are gathered outside and sat in your bindings, gathered on the floor there, on the rock surface outside the hut. The smell is incredible. Quite something to deal with. And some of your quote-unquote guards, let me just bring them here, are placed around you as they are pretending to keep you prisoner.
Kind of listening and watching closely, like just while they're waiting here. Does Zakan like catch strains of conversation, anything to be sort of listening for anything that's like, and then we kill the prisoners or anything like that?
Give me a perception check, please.
Perception. That's a nat 1.
Yay!
And my first roll back. That's a great indicator.
Unfortunately, you cannot hear what's being said by any of the followers around the statue or anything. But there is one exchange which does actually reach your ears because it's slightly heated. And I'm just trying to find where it is. Excuse me. Where are you?
This will be very good information to know.
Arguing over what to eat for lunch.
No, there is another Kuatoa inside Pluplupin's hut, and he says to him in a non-religious way, "Greetings, my son. I have found some that will aid us." And you hear this other voice, who must be Gluglugog, the Sea Mother Faithful and son of Pluplupin, as he says in Undercommon, and loudly, which is how you can hear it, even with a natural one. It's like, but Father, I see no need for these outsiders to be involved in sacred matters. The Sea Mother will see us straight. We do not need these so-called adventurers. And the Archpriest is like, no, do not speak of such things. We must go with the flow and the currents of the goddess's visions. And you see this Kuatoa whip come stalking out of the hut, seeming to have relented to his father's whims, but he shoots a slightly hostile glare towards you. So, you are able to converse quietly. Otherwise, I shall move on. Is there anything you wanted to say?
I think we're just, at least Ignatius is just waiting for the signal. He's kind of pumped and ready to go, just if not able to rage.
Indeed. Okay.
Do you tell us what they're saying, or sorry, Zakan? Because I can't understand anything. So.
Oh yeah. I think like that argument is heated and loud enough, and it's close to us. So Zakan will lean over and sort of summarize it, kind of nodding towards the one after they give the nasty glare towards them, being like, that one doesn't seem happy with our involvement. It may be good to keep an eye on them.
Good advice. All right.
Now, Elora and Zakan, your night vision is good enough that you can actually see the other altar. You see it on the map there, to the north.
Mhm.
And you can see another group of Kuotoa gathered around this separate altar down towards the water's edge. And it is a very strange-looking construct, which you can't make out the details of, but it is... Yeah, disgusting.
Oh.
And you can hear, it's not too loud or anything quite yet, but you can hear chanting coming from that direction as well.
For setting the scene, is the rest of the NPC party with us as well?
Yes, yeah, they are gathered there, but they're going to be cloistered away during the action, shall we say.
Gotcha.
Alora, actually, Eldith, the dwarf scout, she's like, Lady Alora, are you going to be okay? I don't like how they're separating us. Back in my scouting days, we never believed in splitting the party.
We'll be fine. I've talked with the archpriest. I believe him. We have the numbers. You just stay safe. This makes me feel better knowing that none of you will be in danger.
Okay, but if things get really bad, fall back here and we'll let ourselves free and we shall assist you every way we can.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Just get back here, okay? Don't get in too deep.
I won't be in trouble, don't worry. And if we're in trouble, we'll come get you.
Nice to be back on land, huh?
Yes. I'm tired of the water. I do not like the water out here.
Yes, I'd heard terrible things of the Dark Lake, and hey, they're all true.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be doing any swimming for the rest of my life.
Okay. So, with these various conversations happen, and after a while, within the hour, there is a large sound of there's the sound of a large group of movement coming towards you, and you see Glug, the sun, returning with a large group of other Kuotoa. This
Being
large
done
group.
with Shushar.
Hello.
Oh.
He is also with the other group there. Let's give a shot at that. So yeah, you see 12 Kuotoa and the sun
What?
come back round. Let me just get these out of the way so I can put all of these in here without... let's put them... there. Raw. And you see Pluplupin inside his hut being ceremonially robed, and then one of the other of his his staff here helping him offers up the scepter to him and bows their head. And Zakan, you hear them say, "May the Sea Mother grant you victory, Archpriest." And he's like, "I know that with these that she has sent to us, we shall set our people back on the right path. Look after the others here. Take care of them, and we shall be back soon." You okay? Yeah. Okay. Everyone okay? Good. You're not as scared of that phrase as my my Eberron group. There's one guy who's like this really kick-ass like guide, like scout kind of assassin guy, and he, just out of chance, I keep saying with him, it's like, yeah, I'll take care of that person. It's okay. And everyone's like, take care of? What do you mean take care of?
We'll talk about it when I get back.
become a running joke that he's just, is off screen just murdering all of these NPCs. So, no, that's not what he wants to do. Ploop ploopeen. Zoop comes to the head
The
of the
High
group
Priest
here.
seems to faith in us, believing that we were sent to aid him. The others of this other god will fight to defend it, but should try not to hurt them too badly. Looking at Ignatius pointedly.
Yes, focus on the leaders. Definitely.
Sure. Hurt them as badly as they need it.
Maybe
A little bit
ferocious in
nervous.
appearance, but
Was that Alora or Sam?
Both. Alora's a little bit nervous because we have the numbers. It almost seems too good to be true. So I feel like something's coming.
probably good instincts.
Yeah, it wouldn't have put you as the one that's new to D&D.
It's not gonna go that easy.
I'm not in my top form, so I'll mostly be relying on you, I think.
Do my best from the shadows.
Okay, so let us move on. As Plooploopeen and his son Glugog lead this procession of faithful Kuotoa, you are marched up through the streets to the shrine of the Deep Father. There's so many Kuotoa on this map. It's crazy. Okay. This one.
Know each and every one of their names.
Shut up.
You can just go through it real quick.
How dare you, as a fellow DM? How dare you? Okay.
I want them all to have different voices and I want to know about their families.
Okay. I am actually. I'm gonna take. If this comes to combat, just saying, if a combat should break out, I think the base level Kuotoa will take care of themselves. Okay. They will be
fighting amongst each other.
Yeah, they'll just rush into combat with each other. So it'll be you guys versus the priests and the monitors and the whips that are there. So let me just color code these so you know who's who. Green. Let's see. Let's say green is good. Oh, these tokens are really small, so it gets really disappeared. Green is good. So that's the sun. That's Glugog. This is Plooploopleen here. And then I'll go pink for bad. For no particular reason. This is Blop Bliplod, the daughter. Here, up on the altar itself. And these are her faithful bad guys. Shall we say.
The High Priest, Pupine, had identified her as one of the people that we are striking down.
Yeah, indeed. I'm going to put this guy up here, actually. And this guy in here. Okay. So, and you'll notice one of these things is not like the others.
Yeah.
Oh, Daisy, thank you so much. We have some names in chat here. We have Bloop, Goop, Ploop, and Doop. Thank you, Daisy. Thank you, Daisy. Oh yeah, we do love our audience participation. That was never felt more than last week. We had the random generation of the characters for the one-shot roulette, and all of the people watching were rolling for their equipment and everything. It was great. That was a fun time. Okay, so as you are paraded forward, you see, even those without the dark vision, and Cos with the boop, thank you. I don't know. That could be confusing because we have our healing boops from our our monk here. That could get a little confusing. But yes.
Boop for boop.
As you approach and you get to see the glory of this unbeliever's altar, you see ahead of you, up on this raised dais, the idol to the Limugugan, the Deep Father, consists of a large hide cut roughly in the shape of a manta ray and stretched out on cords between support poles. A dead, splayed-out manta ray is pinned to the center of the hide, and 2 dead octopuses are draped across the top. Their tentacles pinned and artfully arrayed, their heads tied together and painted with red and blue pigments. The idol reeks of decay, and the broad stone altar below the idol is stained dark with blood. And I can show you, because we have a rather glorious picture of this. Apologies to those of you who are
This is a good module
squeamish.
Playing like a good and evil, firm character, because the module makes it very clear.
Yes. Here you are. Isn't it pretty?
Ooh,
Hell yeah.
fun.
Super, that's a medal.
Yeah.
Zakan's converting.
I changed my mind. All these
Like
guys.
album art.
This is your choice.
Hey, like in terms of aesthetic construction, which one is better?
Unfortunately, well, there's no picture of the other one, so I mean, even the authors were favoring the Deep Father, it would seem. I wonder why that could be. Anyway, moving on. You see Kuatoa working at the altar, cleaning up and arranging offerings. There is a faithful of the religion that Pluplin addresses as he says, "Good day, Klibdolagut." And one of the who is that? Yeah, one of the monitors, the Kuatoa monitors, turns and bows but scowls very aggressively at Pluplupin approaching with such a large number of his Kuatoa. Now, let's see here. So yeah, you are escorted to the Deep Father's altar near the docks, and you can see Bliplod, the daughter, waiting up on the altar itself, with these stalagmites rising up around it. And you can see her there, the archpriest of this new religion, as Plupluplin, the Sea Mother's archpriest, steps forward across the span of the altar toward his daughter, waiting for him there. And he says, and Zakan, let's assume that you are telling... you are translating for your other captives here in a hushed tone. Daisy says, we got to tell Pluplin to floop off. Daisy, how do you know such foul language in Kuatoa? Where did you learn such profanity?
They're kind of far away, so Zakan's like nudging Goop next to him and being like, "Hey, what are they saying?"
No worries. And you see that Pluplin steps forward and says to his daughter, "The time has come," he says, "for us to acknowledge your divine vision and welcome it. I have brought," and he gestures back to you, "these as offerings." And he gestures towards all of you standing within the circle of guards behind him. "Will you not accept them?" And his daughter steps forward. "You are wise, father." The younger, sorry, that wasn't supposed to be in her voice. The younger archpriest replies, "I accept your offering in the name of the Deep Father. May their blood nourish and strengthen him." And a burbling cheer goes up from the surrounding Kuatoa, their fists raised in the air. Now, as you approach, you can see that the followers of the Deep Father were already preparing a sacrifice, as you can see a bruised and bedraggled Durgar, one of the Underdark dwarves, already lying semi-conscious up against the altar, as you can see on the map there. Let me bring that back for chat there. Out of the way, altar, as cool as you are. Let's put you over there, because it's still good to have.
Leans over to Ignatius. She says you're the most handsome among the offerings. I don't know why she felt the need to point it out, but she did
It's
mention
very
it specifically.
odd. It's very well. Let us hope
I
that
leave you alive.
anything else by it.
Okay. So. Is everyone just willing to go with the flow?
Just waiting for my signal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Waiting for that staff.
Okie doke. Oh yeah, indeed.
Watching that, that yappy.
Okay. So, as the ritual is prepared, you are brought forward. Now, let me just put our fishy friends around and about the place here. Bear with me. As you see, the Kuatoa, loyal to the Sea Mother and those who have turned to the Deep Father, spread out in a large ring around the altar, which, as they circle and move around the new idol here in the city, their path, their journey takes them into the water itself as they're moving around. And as they're circling and moving around and about the place, you actually lose track of who's who, and you can't see which are the followers of the Sea Mother and which are those
Goop.
with you. Where's Goop? Cause he says he loves fish. Well, come and grab some sashimi here, man. Help out the cause. Now.
Standing in the water like eating a fish. Ah, there he is.
And but as this happens, you do see Plouploupine and his son step forward as you. Let's see, where would you be brought? Let me just get this in the right spot. Poor Corbin, not here to defend themselves. I'm going to shove them right in the thick of the action there.
As they're kind of being brought to the dais,
Yeah.
and Zakan will say under their breath, beware the rival priest's magic. Although the gods may be created, they draw very real power from it.
Wise words. Now, let me get some stat blocks here. Just for my own research stake, no
Just
particular reason. There's one for the monitors, one for the whips, one for the
Goop.
archpriest. Goop is upon us. Now the question is, does Goop have what's her face's accent? The actress, who is it? She has that strange company called Goop.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
What is it?
Goop looks exactly like Gwyneth Paltrow.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah, Gwyneth Paltrow.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Number of crystals.
But Kotor. Okay, we have the monitor, we have the whip, we have the archpriest, we have a Durgar, and I believe
In
that
like
is
real
everyone.
bad shape, like death's door bad shape, or is he just beaten up?
He's just beaten up. Yeah, he's been subdued. It actually has him at like his full HP here. I might take a few HP off him.
But he's not like half sacrificed.
No. It was just he was just subdued, awaiting sacrifice. And so, as you are dragged forward and placed at the foot of this bizarre, unholy altar, you see the Kuatoa parade around the altar in this wide circle as they chant amongst themselves. A part of the path sends them splashing and wading through the shallows of the dark lake, and you quickly can't tell one faction of fishfolk from the other. But, as I said, you do see the archpriest and his son move towards the daughter, towards the altar. And I was doing so well. Bloblipod calls for you to be brought forth, and some of the Kuatoa and her own monitors drag you, quickly jumping forward, eagerly wanting to do her bidding, and they prod you with their spears and herd you towards this slight depression in front of the altar. And there is a large grate in the center of this depression, and you can see that the stonework here is stained with blood, the blood of innumerable sacrifices. And you can hear, thank you, Sirenscape, you can hear the gentle lapping of the dark lake coming up through the grate, so it's clear that the water passes under the ground here and actually is accessed directly from this sacrificial spot. And as you're brought forward, Bloblipod, the daughter, gestures towards the altar, and her father, as she turns her head, swings the scepter and makes a massive crack as he makes contact and starts the proceedings for real. So,
seems like the sign we were waiting for.
indeed.
Sure.
Now, chat, I'm afraid that is as close as I can get because this is a very small map, so we shall make do with that as the battle is joined. So, he lashes out, and I'm going to do a attack on his daughter here. She's got AC of 13, surprise attack, so
Credit.
with advantage, right? That'd be so nice. If you got him, let those nat 20 phoenixes fly as he lashes out with his scepter. Crack! Not a natural 20, I'm afraid, but I got a 19. So he smacks her on the back of the skull. Preemptive nat 20 from CarniSideShow there. Thank you, sir. But it is still a mighty strike as you see it crunches on the back of his daughter's skull, and as it makes contact, lightning crackles out around the scepter, as it seems it is imbued with magical power. And he crashes home there. Hey, Tales of Fish, welcome on in there. It does look spicy. It is spicy. We're just getting kicked off. You know what? I think I'm going to kick up this music a notch. Sorry, Sirenscape. I know you chose this, but I'm going to pull rank here because it's my stream. And where are we at? Battle! Ha! Indeed. Okay, so as the staff, lightning crackling around its surface, hits home, we are going to start into initiative as this Tales of Pesh in our chat here is all hail Limagugan. We have a Bluktagar in our midst, a filthy Bluktagar. Strike them down.
I do not blame them.
Cause Daisy, strike them down. Chat can take care of themselves. Okay.
And once you remove the god, though, they'll come back around, though.
Okay.
They'll convert very quickly.
Oof, there goes Pluplupine. Crashing down, attacking his own daughter. So that was a total of 16 lightning damage. So 22 cracking into the priestess's skull. And she screams out, and calls of Bluktagar go from both sides. Everyone starts shouting, Bluktagar, no, Bluktagar, no, you're the Bluktagar. And everyone starts shouting at each other. And the Kuatoa, the base level Kuatoa that were marching around, quickly devolve into a scramble of combat as they're all fighting against each other and crashing into the, into the forces, seemingly realizing who each other are, if it's difficult for us to tell. And let's get those initiative rolls, please.
I got a nat 20.
Hey, nat 20.
Yay.
Let's let them fly.
We're 24.
Fly, fly, fly. Nice. Our newest... Actually, no, I guess our newest emote is the Nat 1, which we haven't... Actually, sorry, Zakan. I'm not used to doing the Nat 1 yet. I denied you your Nat 1.
For eavesdropping.
Yes. Oh, cause cheer, buddy. We got a cheer for the start of combat from the bleachers. Yeah. Okay, that's you guys there. And where is a monitor? I think this is a monitor, isn't it? Yes.
That's a 19 total for Zakan initiative.
Thank you. Yeah, I can see that went in there automatically. Thank you. And a whip. Bear with us, everyone, while we just get this sorted. I think I should put the two different priests in their own initiatives, shouldn't I? Boop. Come up here. It's one of those mahusive turn orders, all the different ones in there. So that's Plupin, and Klibdolagut is there as the whip. He's actually a friendly whip. Oh no, he's the bad guy. Sorry, it's okay. And the daughter, Archpriest. Oop. Ooh, okay. Elora's fastest, but Plupin is fast on her heels. These fishy folk are swift. Sorry, chat. I'm gonna get rid of that turn order for you because it's tiny. You can't make it out. Action Pap. That is an amazing collection of emotes. Okay. Sorry, it probably got spread all over the whole screen as it flew through. Does not tend to keep its consistency. And finally, our poor Duragar captive as the last one there. Oh, yep. Suitably wounded and slow off the out of the stocks. Action, Cos, Daisy, Tales of Pesh, how's the sound levels? Can you just give me a shout if something's too noisy? Oh, we lost. Who did we lose? Stephen, no!
Here.
What happened? Oh, have we got... Is it Corbin? Do we have a new... Oh no, it's Cos. What are you doing there? Get out of here! Go away! Cosy, turn your camera off, please. There you go.
extra video.
Yeah, sorry, Cos. Can you jump out of the call, please, when we're live? Sorry, it just messes up the overlay. Got him. Go back. Oh, hot sweaty. Tumbling into combat here. Cosy, sorry, can you turn off your camera, please? Or sorry, not turn off the camera. Leave the call, please. So that one's just for those that are in the game. Enjoy the music, folks, while we're getting here sorted. I need to do Corbin's.
Strategizing.
Yeah, right. Corbin is getting a what is that? +3, 14 on their thing. Sorry, Daisy, you can get Cos out of the call. Sorry, it just messes up the overlay if there's an extra person in there. There we go. Sorry, Cos. Thank you.
Rare Cos glimpse.
Okay,
Cos
so
cameo.
shoop. Right, so as Plupin brings his stuff down, crashing onto the back of the head of his daughter, you are all jumping into action. Alora, of course, is the fastest. What do you do?
Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
I want to use sneak attack. Is
Yes.
that extra damage rolled with whatever weapon I use, or just separately?
It's when you hit. So if you hit with an attack, you can. No problem, Cos. No problem. It's when you hit, you can choose to add it.
Okay. So if I hit. So
Yeah, so
I'm
first,
going
roll the attack
to,
first.
Yeah, use my short sword. I'm in.
Okay.
Yeah, run up to
So
the
yeah,
daughter.
you reach down and bites
Bluff
the remember there was a loose thread on the bite and you just tear that out and haha, I'm free. I was free all along. And the actually I think there was a little thing here. It says so when the sacrifices are brought forward, Blue Blipod gestures towards the altar, whereupon Blue Blipin suddenly attacks, striking her with his scepter. The Kuatora loyal to him surge forward to attack, while the guards that brought you stand in shock. They're surprised and they can't even move or take an action on the first turn of combat, and they can't even take reactions on the first turn. Yep. So you've got the jump on them.
And not quick thinking in particular.
Yes.
Yeah, so unfortunately I don't hit with my short sword. I kind of need. So afterwards I'm just gonna hide in the debris, I guess, whatever this would be here near the statue, behind the statue.
Let me just so I just need to chill out Sirenscape a little bit for me there. Okay, so actually I'm doing you an injustice, everyone. Sorry. I have got you on the wrong side of things here. That's what those two circular things are on the other side there. I think these are the indentations. Yeah, these are the indentations where the sacrifices happen. So sorry, you've been brought over here. And
facing the statue.
Durga, yeah, right. I saw that way around there. So the daughter and the father will be here, and the faithful will be around here. So there is one next to you, Laura. So you're still good to go. There we go. That's where you're supposed to be.
Okay, so yeah, now I'm hidden over here in the debris, I guess.
Are you going to try and hide?
Yes.
Okay, then you need to go. I think you would need to drop into the water and go under the pier.
Oh, okay.
That would be the only place that you could hide.
Laura's dreading going back into the water.
After you promised you would never again. But unfortunately, yes. So these groups of Kuatora are all fighting here. I will actually get rid of this picture here. Sorry, everyone. And there we go. These combats happening here. So yeah, roll me a stealth check.
I got a 27.
27. Very nice. So yeah, you slip out of the sacrificial thing. Do you want to go to the west or east? Which pier you want to go under?
The one that's closest to the daughter, so I guess it would be left-ish.
On that side there. Okay, yep. So I'm going to put you here, but you're in the water underneath. Okay, and you are hidden. Where's our little ninja-esque thing here? There you are. Boom. Ninja. Okay, so yeah, you, in the confusion that happens as it all jumps around. Cause, get out of the chat. Messing up the camera. Please stay out of the streaming live one, please. There you go. Okay, and you slip over the edge of the sacrificial bowl and duck under the water. There's still a gap between the pier and the water, so you can get your head up above. But you're in the water there as the Kuatora are fighting fiercely right beside you, and the others are all around you. Okay, and then would you like to use that? So that was your bonus. That's your bonus action, right?
Yeah, that was my bonus action. Yes, that's all I can do for now, I guess.
Yeah. Well, no, you can move, and then you still have your attack, your action. That's just your bonus action.
Oh, I thought I failed. Okay, because I tried to hit with my short sword.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. What was the final number on that?
That was an 8.
Oh yeah, I'm afraid that does. Okay, so yeah, you lashed out at the one that was right next to you, and then kind of rolled backwards and disappeared under the pier there. Okay, thank you. It is Plupin's turn as he turns and let's have a quick here. he is going to cast that Spirit Guardians again that you saw him use when he rescued you, because he still has spell slots left at that level. His last one, because he used it to cast Tongues as well. And as you see him like raise up the scepter, these very Kuator-looking spectral figures start to spin and swirl around him and attack both the Kuatoa, his daughter, and all of the Bluktagar that are around the lot of you there. So, these appear, and there's a 15-foot radius from where they are, and yeah, he can designate that you are unaffected by it, so these spirits are whirling around all of you, but they do not attack you. And okay, it's when the enemy starts its turn in that area, so that's not happening just yet. So, let me put my radius on this guy. 15 feet. By the way, each of these squares is 10 feet. Okay? So, one square is 10 feet, so if you're measuring and things on there, it will come up further than it looks at first sight. And then it is the daughter, who I'm going to count, right? She counts as surprised as well. So she's going to be surprised in this first round. Zakan, what do you do?
So, Zakan will step out from behind Poppy's bulk there. And thanks to Dread Ambusher, they're going to fire off 2 quick strings of their bow. So I think while the attack was happening, they were slipping off the kelp or whatever weak ropes they used to like dramatically bind us.
Yep.
And they've got their 2 arrows. And, yeah, they're sort of like.
Love how Finn in the background is like, "Fuck him up, Dad! Fuck him up!"
Yeah, get him.
Cause it's okay. It's okay. Thank you.
Dramatically, they're like straddling these 2 bowls, like on the edges of the 2 bowls.
Okay.
So they fire off.
Yeah, you jump up, so you're up there.
And it looks like a clear enough line towards the priestess, eh?
Yes, from there, yeah, definitely.
First one is only a 10.
Okay. That is not enough, I'm afraid.
Okay. Let me make sure that Dread Ambusher. Okay, so I don't actually have to hit to do the second attack for Dread Ambusher. It's just taking the attack. So, yep, other fire. Trying to do them as quick as possible, put an end to this before any gods get summoned. So that'll be 21 for the second shot.
Definitely hits.
Yeah, so they've got their footing a little bit better. Let's see, that will be... so that's 9 plus... And let's see, one additional deals an extra 1d8 damage. So 9 plus... They're 3, so that's 12. And going to mark the priestess as a favored foe.
All right.
There, 2, so that's 14 in total. I'm using all the many ambusher tricks.
Nice. And I don't think... Yeah, they don't have any resistances or anything, so that's all damage taken there. So once more, the full total? 14?
14 and piercing, just in case.
Yeah, that's fine. They don't have any resistances. Okay, so yeah, you lash out and let fly 2 of your arrows, and they slam into the body of the daughter, and she gargles in protest, looking surprised at her own father. More even with these arrows flying out from the side. Okay, anything else? You're done?
Just leans down to the Duragar, or like looks down there and says, "Stay hidden, stay safe."
He's like, let me free and then I can fuck him up too.
They kind of give a shrug, and I guess I haven't used my bonus action.
Yeah, also interact with an object. Interact with an object is a part of a different action, so it's fine. You can just cut him free quickly.
Yeah, so they go down and with whatever like little survival knife or something that they have, just.
Yep.
they're working on that until the next turn.
He's like, oh, thank you, friend. Nice. And it is Corbin's turn. Corbin's like, right, okay, here we go. And just like lips and comes spinning up with her sickle and goes for the monitor right next to her. AC is that. So lashes out with the sickle and gets a natural 1. Sorry, Buns. That's why you got to be here. Look what I do when you're missing. I've got natural 1s too, so I'm gonna let them fly. Oh, poor little phoenix.
You like spit out a dagger.
Yeah, she spins up. I think she spins up, goes to lash out with the sickle, slips on some kind of gross, like offal or whatever that's still left over of a previous sacrifice in there.
It's
like,
real mucusy in here.
Yeah, it's nasty. She's like, ah! And that is that. Let's see if you've got any cool bonus actions. Excuse me. Oh, yeah, she can do her flurry of blows. Sorry, they can do their flurry of blows even without without hitting. So I think I will do that. Do they still have key points? Yes, they do. Excellent. Okay. So I'm going to spend a key point to do flurry of blows. So after I take the attack action, I can make 2 unarmed strikes. Punch, punch. First one. 7. Nope. And punch. Yes, a 12. That hits. So as she punches out. Oh, and maximum damage. Okay. So she punches the monitor next to her and damages them a little bit. Okay. And Ignatius.
Which one is this is the daughter here?
Yes, the pink one there, yeah.
Okay. So I'll just run in recklessly and attack. That's all I can.
Excellent.
So, rah, with advantage. Okay, nope.
Let me be down there.
That is it's an 18 to hit.
That hits.
Right. Oof. 6 points of slashing damage.
Okay, thank you. Your great axe cuts into the priestess. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay, but you're raging now.
I can't. I'm not all out of rage.
Oh no!
From last time.
Oh no!
It's very tired and sad. No rage.
Yeah. No rage.
Okay. Just disappointment.
He's had a hard day.
I'm not angry. I'm disappointed. Okay. The whip on their side is still surprised. Hemeth, as that is his name, the Durgar that our friend Zagarn just released, goes, right, let's get this fighting sorted, and just grows in size as Durgar are able to do.
I forgot they could do that.
Yeah. And goes junk round the side of the son of Pluplupin and lashes out at the monitor on that side. Durgar, Warpick. 16 to hits, that hits. And 13 piercing damage. Rah, 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 rah. And yeah, that's that. Okay, so that one takes 13 damage. And the monitors, their monitors are surprised, but Pluplupin's son is not, as he is going to, let's think. I think he will charge around in front of you, Zakan, and engage the other one, the Klibdulagut, the faithful of the Deep Father. So goes rushing around, he's like, die! And attacks that guy there. And goes to bite. Just hits for 6 piercing. And then an unarmed strike. Punches for a 21 for a total of 8 damage. And the second punch, just a 9, so misses that. So that is a total of 8 plus 6, so 14 damage on this follower of the Deep Father around here. So 14, yep, okay. Punch, punch, punch. And you can see he's also got that lightning playing around his fists as he punches the non-believer, the Bluktagar. And Elora, it is... Oh, hang on, just a moment, please.
Question: what is the light situation like here?
I mean, there is a tiny amount. It's dim light. Here. And they don't get their turn, but they still get affected by Pluplupine Spirit Guardians, don't they? So let me quickly do that. Spirit Guardian, Spirit Guardian.
Your turn in the area.
Yeah, right.
Like that.
Exactly. Even if they're surprised, they still have to make that save. There is a DC 14 Wisdom save. Yes, DC 14 Wisdom saving throw. So first the monitor. Is there just the one? Or, out the way. No, there's two monitors. The first one at the top there, Wisdom saving throw. Boop. Oh, natural 1. And 14, the second one just makes it. So on a fail, that is Wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, they take 3d8 radiant. 3d8 necrotic damage, and still half on a success. So the other one takes half. So 3d8. 1, 2, 3. I was going to keep the same damage for all of them just to make it faster. That is 19. So these ghostly Kuatoa are just going through, and they've got the same claws that the Sea Mother statue has, and they're just like just attacking these creatures. So the one that was a fail takes 19 damage, and the other one takes 9 damage. That's right, yep. And then the priestess herself, probably fairly wise. So. Oh, but yes, that is a pass. But they also take 9 damage as well. And finally, the whip. Wisdom, boop. Is a fail, so they take the full 19. Snip, 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 snip. And Elora, back to you.
So I guess from my hidden position under the pier, and I try and use my longbow to shoot at them.
I would swim to the other side over here and jump out from there.
Okay, so even though I jumped out, I'm still technically hidden.
Of course, yeah, because you're swimming under the pier, so you're out of sight.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'll jump out of this pier and try to hit them with my longbow.
Okay, so I'm just going to drag you over there.
I have advantage, right? So I get to roll
Yep,
twice.
that's right. Yep, roll twice and take the higher.
First one didn't go well. The second one is a 13.
13. So who are you aiming for?
For the daughter.
Okay, 13 hits, just hits.
And then I'll use my damage. So has the daughter has not attacked yet, right?
No.
So could I use my sneak attack on her?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, sneak attack. Anytime you hit, you can use the sneak attack. Because, well, if you have advantage, you can. If there is an ally next to them distracting them, you can as well. So, two reasons to use it.
Yeah.
So I roll my longbow damage and my sneak attack damage, or just the sneak attack damage?
You roll the longbow damage and then add the sneak attack damage.
Yeah, you get both, so it makes rogues great.
So it's yeah, right. So it's a D8 plus 4.
Yeah.
And then
so for the longbow,
2d6.
piercing is 6 damage.
Okay.
And then the sneak attack is
2d6.
10.
10, so 16.
Yeah, there's that rogue boost.
Nice. Okay, so yeah, this arrow thuds home, and she takes a nasty arrow to the knee, as is only appropriate, and she
No more adventuring.
she is bloodied.
Ooh.
Hey.
Okay.
And then, do I have a bonus action, or did
Of
my
course.
sneak attack count it? Okay. Then I'm gonna hide again. I'm gonna go back under the pier.
Right, I don't think bonus actions. Yeah, bonus action. Sneak attack isn't a bonus action. It's just something that you get if you're eligible to do so. So yeah, you're going to try that hide again. So give me that stealth check once more, please.
22.
Nice. So we have our Navy SEALs over here. It's like rises up out of the water and then loops down without so much as a ripple. Excellent. Okay. And at that, Plupin is going to once more. Let's see here. What shall I do? What shall I do? I'm not good with spellcasters. There's so many options. Let's see here. Okay, he's going to try and cast Hold Person on his daughter. Let's put it there. It's easier to see there. So he chooses his daughter. Oh no, this is also concentration. That would get rid of the Spirit Guardians. Never mind. Okay, he is going to. Let's see. What's the damage on a 2d8 plus? I think. I'm just trying to see what's the best. Yeah, I think his scepter is actually like better than any of his like aggressive spells that aren't concentration. So he's just going to lash out with his scepter again at his daughter. Well, a natural one. Never mind. But he gets 2 melee attacks. So another one. 8. I got a natural 1 and a 2. Sorry, Plupin. Okay, so he fails in that.
Man of the claw.
Hey, a big hello to everyone watching. Hope you're enjoying this. We're having a combat here as they're trying to avoid being sacrificed to the Deep Father, this so-called Limugugan in the city of Slubludup in the Underdark. And he misses with both of those as his daughter ducks around the altar out of the way, and his scepter crunches into one of those octopuses. And it is her turn. She will say, "Two can play at that game," and she calls forth spiritual manta rays and also casts spiritual guardians. They are the same stat block. So I'm
ghost
afraid.
night happening.
Yep. So that is 15-foot radius from her. Okay, and that's her turn. And Zakan, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Right on the outside of that radius, eh?
Right, so.
And me too, right?
The start of your turn, I think, right? When you start your turn in
Yeah, just at the start of your own turn, yeah.
Wisdom. So that's going to be
Hello,
pretty good. 19.
Okay, so you take half of 8. You take 8 damage.
What type of damage is that?
Good question. It is. It will be radiant damage.
So that'll be 4.
Ooh, nice.
That resistance.
Excellent. So yeah, these strange-looking manta rays kind of swirl around you and crunch. Actually, hang on. I was going by the type evil. It's if you're evil or good, but I was going by the target. It might be the caster. Let's see here. Sorry. On a failed save, you take 3d8 radiant damage if you are a good or neutral caster. Sorry, it's necrotic.
Oh, also resistant.
Nice. Okay. So yes, necrotic damage for them. Radiant damage for Plupin. Okay, and it is your turn, Sam. Go.
Let's see. So,
how's everyone doing for time?
Okay, at the moment, are we going to go through one more round? Or
If we can, if we can, let's go to the end of this round. Yeah.
Cool. I'm just going to keep it simple, I think, and Zakan's going to try and step.
Sorry,
out
Sam,
of the
Chris, are you
radius.
okay? Sam, are you okay? Time? Yeah, just go to the end of this round. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yep, so go for it.
So I'm just going to take a step back out of the radius there.
Nice. Yes, you do, because you can actually,
Wherever the ghost
this is like one of the spells you can actually physically see the radius very clearly because they're just swirling around in that space.
Yeah.
So you just step
So just
out
not going to
of-
hang out in there. Just going to bloop
That's not
right out. Yeah, so fire off the old longbow.
Okie doke.
Need some arrows back in town. 16.
Hits the daughter, right?
The daughter, yeah.
Yep.
And hopefully put an end to this cut off the head of the snake kind of thing.
Okie doke.
So that's a 3 on the dice plus the favored foe. Extra 3, so 6 for that one.
6 total.
6 total.
Okay, thank you very much. As your arrow thuds home, she screams out, calling on the Deep Father to bring her aid and lend her strength against these Bluktagar. Unbelievers, for those joining us in chat. Okay. Anything else, sir?
I think that will be it.
All right, thank you. And Corbin's turn. Corbin is going to do the same as before, lash out with the sickle and then flurry of blows. So... indeed. What's the AC on there? Fellow there, 13. Okay. These cries of these Kuotoa. So the sickle is 15, which will hit. So the damage on that is 4 damage, and then they will do their unarmed strike. Pop, pop. As the phrase goes, that is a hit for another 4 damage. That's 8 so far, and then the final punch.
And then pops.
Another hit, dirty 20, for an extra 5 damage. So a total of 13 damage. As the sickle lashes out, and then the fist punch, punch on the backhand. As this monitor is feeling the monk's wrath. What did I say? It was 13.
These are not the healing boobs.
Not the healing boobs at all.
They're the hurting boobs.
This one is also blooded by Corbin's flurry of deadly blows. All right.
These are furious.
Indeed.
Furious boobs.
Monk fury. Okay. And the turn comes to Ignatius Poppy Zarillus.
Right, my wisdom save was a 4.
Oh, I need to do Corbin's as well. Thank you. A 4. I'm afraid that's going to cause you, sir, 13. 13 necrotic. And Corbin gets to make a wisdom saving throw as well. 18. They had +0, so I got an 18 on the dice. So they only take half of 15, so down to 7.
And wisdom.
Okay.
Yeah, still alive. All right. So I'll go reckless at her again.
Go for it.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. Let him fly, folks. Let him fly.
All right. So, and a 12 on the die. Do I double or roll twice?
Roll twice.
Okay, of course.
Sorry.
So, that is a total of
Yes.
16 and 9.
Oh, yikes.
25.
25. Ignatius, Poppy, Zarillus. Tell me what happens as you
Yay.
slay the Bluktagar priestess.
I'm too old for this. Just completely worn out. Stop calling these evil gods to poke at us and then just slam at her as hard as I can.
Okay. And as you bring your great axe round in a swoop, Pluplupleen raises up his staff above his head, just like in Star Wars, and he's just like, which is all you hear. But Zakan, you hear him in Undercommon saying, "Yes, the Sea Mother delivers. The Sea Mother delivers." And you crunch your great axe into his Bluktagar daughter, and she crumples at the base of her foul altar, and the spirits surrounding her wink out, whilst Blupleens stay in one place. Okay, fantastic. Now, the whip is going to turn on you, Ignatius, as you're right there. What do they have? They have bites and they have pincer staffs. Remember in the picture I showed you, they have those like pincer like staffs that they had there. So he goes to bite you and gets an 18.
Oh, yep.
That is 3 piercing, down to 1.
That's enough to take me down.
You had 1 left?
3.
No, because it's reduced, right? Because you're raging. Oh no, you're not raging.
I'm not raging.
Out of rage.
Out of rage.
A mouthful of that beef.
Oh no, sorry. I had 4, so I have
You've got one left. But they do go for you with their pincer staff as well. So as you lunge forward and bury your axe in the priestess, as you're trying to pull it free, the faithful of the Deep Father screams and goes forward and just bites a massive chunk out of your shoulder. The blood goes pouring down your chest as they lunge for you with a pincer staff. Natural 20. This could be very, very bad. For a total of... Oh no, you're okay. 7 damage. So, the pincer lunges out, grabs around your throat, and you feel the jagged barbs on the inside dig into your flesh as you collapse unconscious, and your blood seeps into the water, a sacrifice to the Deep Father. Excellent. So we get to start next week with death saves. Woohoo!
Yeah.
You are unconscious, sir. Okay. And then the Duragar is going to lash out once more at the monitor that he is facing with his large pick. Just hits for 8 piercing damage. Indeed. -8. And, not quite bloodied yet. And then it is the monitor's turn. This one is going to go for Corbin. What's Corbin's AC? 13. Yes. Okay, so monitor. Hang on. Sorry. Starting their turn, they need to make that saving throw. There's 2 of them, so the one in the top. Yeah, indeed. Fails. The one at the bottom also fails. So they both take, excuse me, the full whack of only 10 damage. As Plutin is distracted by his victory over his daughter, clearly, and the damage is not as much. But they do look pretty rough, regardless. Now this one is blooded. That's fighting the Duragar. Indeed. Alright, so they're both blooded now, but they are going to get their attacks still. So the one going for Corbin goes with its bite. Hits for 6 damage. Punch. Misses. Other punch. Hits for... what is that? 12 damage. That's a total of 18 damage. So Corbin is looking pretty... Oh, no, Corbin is also unconscious. Never mind. So, as very similar attack actually. One attack and then 2 punches, both replying in kind to this monitor.
Fishmonk.
Fishmonk apparently takes out poor Corbin. Oh no, that's the wrong one. Sorry. Ignore that.
Not dead.
Sorry. Killed your character.
You didn't come stay. Your character.
No internet, you say? Then you shall feel my wrath. No. Okay. So yeah, I'm afraid.
Is Corbin able to feeling boop themselves?
As they fall unconscious, it's like, no, afraid not. Elora, Illustrious. Oh no, the other one's going to go for the Duragar. Sorry, just a moment, please. 16 on that one. The bite. Misses. Punch. Hit. Second punch. Also hits for 10 and 6. So 16 damage on the Duragar. Also looking on his last legs, I'm afraid. And remember, no death saves for NPCs. Just gonna put that out there. Okay, and Elora, we are back around to you, but I said we're just gonna do one more round, so we're going to finish there for today. Sorry to leave everyone hanging. We will be back into this combat next week, do not worry. But let me just say one last thing. All of you hear cries of alarm from the Kuatoa fighting to the north in the water as they're splashing back and forth. They all seem to panic and start to cry out in fear and alarm. And Elora, as you are there crouched in the water beneath the pier, you feel something go past your legs, and the water around you starts to boil and bubble as whatever it is that has been eating these sacrifices has been drawn forth and summoned by the promise of fresh meats. And as the water boils up and starts to bubble around you, whatever unseen terror it is in the water drawing closer, we shall stop until next week.
No more water.
Yeah.
Knew I should have gone in the water.
You're gonna go back and Eldith's gonna be, what did I tell you?
I can't keep any of my promises, not my bets, none of them.
I was so happy when you said you were gonna hide. I was like, ooh, good idea. Okay, so thank you so much for everyone who came on by today. A big shout out to Tales of Pesh, Daisy, Claus, Action Pap, everyone over here in our chat. Thank you so much. A big hi, hello, and thank you to everyone over on CarniSideShow as well. Always a pleasure to have you along for the ride. And we will be back next time to see what happens as they try and stop this foul rite. They have killed the priestess, but there are many faithful of the Limugugan waiting to step up and take her place. Let us see what happens next time we are in the Underdark. But do not go away, because there's plenty going on before that. Later on today, for us, tomorrow morning, if you're in North America, we will be back through the mists in Barovia as our Curse of Strahd campaign continues. Then, tomorrow evening for us, morning in North America, we will be back in the Nine Hells for all of that goodness that is going on in the Bleeding Citadel down in Avernus. Then, on Saturday morning, Friday evening in North America, Christoph?
Yes, on Friday night, yes, we have our D&D 5e Modern campaign back into, well, close to the Feywild now, but still. We're jumping around. We're jumping around planes here.
Fantastic. Almost Planescape-esque frolics in a modern-day setting. What would Planescape look like if you had a mobile phone? Do come and check out CarniSideShow's amazing stream as well. And then, next Tuesday, we'll be back up north in Icewind Dale for our Rime of the Frost Maiden as they continue having escaped certain death from the looming Yetis. Fortunately, they were more concerned with the squabbles between them and their neighbours than they were with eating the players, and they have managed to escape that. But they heard tell of a mysterious tiefling leading a cult worshipping Oral the Frost Maiden in the nearby castle, and they want to go and check that out. So do come and see what comes of that. And that's it. Just our regular streams. There are no other streams at the moment, strangely. But there are some very interesting things in the works, so do keep your eyes open and see what's going on. Actually, let me do one big shout out. Next week, our Descent into Avernus Friday game will be part of the Games Tavern's massive charity event for No Kid Hungry. Okay, this great, wonderful charity in the US that looks out for all of those kids that do not receive the proper food that they deserve. And we will be doing a weekend-long event with the Games Tavern, hosted by the Games Tavern, with wonderful sponsors such as Cobalt Press and D&D Beyond and more. So do make sure that you join us for that. There will be giveaways and prizes and all kinds of incentives for donating to this worthy cause. So make sure you don't miss any of that, as our Descent into Avernus is the opening stream for that whole event. And our Rime of the Frost Maiden game will also be part of the goings-on there, as well as other amazing channels that are involved too. So make sure that you do not miss any of that. Great games for a great cause. And with that said, as we like to say around these parts, matane, see you next time. Thank you.